So this was a video I made a short time ago about RV camping that probably has gotten me the nastiest comments and replies out of every video I've ever done. It's crazy. This video is called 10 Red Flags to Avoid When RV Camping, and it was really about how to find the most peaceful spots. And for some reason, I don't understand it, people got pissed at me because I like peace and quiet when I'm camping. So like, in other words, they got so upset. They think that if I don't like noise and craziness and, unpeacefulness, I know that's not a word, but if I don't like that kind of stuff, then I shouldn't be camping. And some of the comments, I'm going to post a link to the video. I think it should be up here somewhere if I can do that. So if you haven't seen the video, you can revisit it. I will tell you that most of the comments on YouTube were pretty respectful, but for some reason when I posted this video on Facebook, that's when on my RV Dummy channel on Facebook, my RV Dummy, no, that's not a channel, it's a page on Facebook, that's when kind of like the craziness hit the fan. And I'll just read some of these comments that I still can't understand why people would be upset with me just because I like peace and quiet when I'm camping. Randy Taunton says, you need to just stay at home and lock yourself in your room. Definitely not a people person. Well, obviously he doesn't know me because I am a people person. But when Yoko and I go camping, that doesn't mean that I want to have a party. It's as easy as that. Robin L. Syverson, she says, you are one rude dirtbag. You not right in the head, stay home. Now, I encourage you to go back and watch this video because I try to do it in the best positive way possible, that if you're looking for peace and quiet, these are some of the things you should avoid. So being called a dirtbag, a rude dirtbag, I don't know. I don't get it, Robin. Thank you so much for that comment, though. I do appreciate that. At least you gave me material for a video, so that's good. D. Brooks says, I've been camping for over 35 years, never had so many problems as this guy has. Again, I like quiet. What can I say? Rick Anderson, he says, stay away from this guy. What a stick in the mud. Isn't camping all about having fun? He's just a miserable person. Well, yeah, camping's about having fun. My idea of fun is sitting at a campfire with my wife, Yoko, enjoying the serenity, the peacefulness, the tranquility. That's my idea of having fun. My idea of having fun is not having kids running all over my campground, making all kinds of noise when I'm there for peace and quiet. I mean, I love kids. I've got 2 kids. They're grown up now, and I went through all that. But, we tried to make sure they were respectful of other people's property and time and space and everything. You would think this comment would be nice because it's from a First Baptist church. So from the First Baptist Church of Harrogate, wherever that may be, First Baptist Church of Harrogate says, you're the type of person that I don't want to camp near. You need a cabin in the woods far away from civilization. Just tell me how I am supposed to control the people I camp next to when booking my campsite. Give me a break. This information was completely a waste of my time. Then they finish it with, God bless. I love how, you can basically tell somebody they're a big asshole and cuss them out. And then at the end, as long as you say God bless, you'll be forgiven. You're okay. You're totally a good person. Well, thanks, First Baptist Church. I really appreciate that. Arthur Schaefer says, why don't you stay at home in the basement and be happy? Well, Arthur, I'm happy wherever I go. But I also like people to consider my peace and quiet and my quiet enjoyment and my space. So if people think I'm a jerk for wanting to be peaceful and quieted and also not bothering other people, that's another thing. When Yoko and I camp, we go out of our way to be totally respectful of other people. So if people think I'm a jerk for that, well, maybe I'm hanging around the wrong people. Just so I wanted to make sure, is this me? Am I a total a-hole? I mean, is it me? So I did a poll, an informal poll on my YouTube channel 2 days ago. As of the time I'm recording this, I have 61 votes. It's probably more by now. I didn't check it earlier today. But the question was basically, when you go camping, when you go RV camping, would you prefer to be in a noisy area with people partying and loud music and kids running all over the place and dogs barking, or would you rather be in peace and quiet? As of last time I checked it, 61 votes, 90% said peace and quiet. So I don't think I'm some oddball in the minority. I apologize if we like to be peaceful people. I so apologize. But what I want to do, I've never done this before. I want to bring on a special guest that has, again, I've never done you'll see anything like this on my show ever since the beginning. I'm going to bring on a very special guest who I think is going to bring to light a special campground that is deemed to be supposedly the most peaceful, the quietest campground, not only in the U.S., but I think the quietest campground in the world. So here, without further ado, I'm not going to give it away. I'd like to introduce her. Go ahead. Okay, I'll tell you her name. Her name is Matilda La Mishpacha. Matilda, take it away. I think you've got a lot of really good things to offer here with your campground.
Hello, darlings. My name is Matilda La Mishpacha, and I am the owner of La Mishpacha Family Campground. And I first of all, I want to thank Dr. Dave, the RV Dummy, for having me on his show here. He said this is very special. He wants to prove to the world that people do like peace and quiet in campgrounds. And we're so proud of our campground. I want to just tell you a little bit about it and love to have you visit there someday. First of all, I do want to tell you I've got no experience in any kind of video filmography and in front of the camera, so I'm a little bit nervous, dears. So just bear with me. I might stumble around a little bit, but it's okay. I've got to share this with you. La Mishpacha Family Campground. We're so proud of the fact that it's the most peaceful and the quietest campground in the world. And I'll tell you some of the things we do at Mishpacha Family Campground. First of all, we have quiet hours. We have very, very strict quiet hours, and they range from the hours of starting at 8 p.m., and they go all the way to 7:59 p.m. So basically, those are our quiet hours. It's always quiet at La Mishpacha Family Campground. And just to make sure everybody's in compliance, we love our guests. We love our guests so much. We want everybody to be so considerate that you'll find me, the owner, Matilda La Mishpacha, walking around with a decibel meter. I've got a little portable decibel meter, and if your decibitalities, whatever you call it, I don't know what the scientific term is for decibels, but if your decibitalities go over 40 decibels per minute, we politely ask you to quiet it down a little bit more because we want peace and quiet. And we make sure that it's just a peaceful campground. As far as kids running around, we love kids. We welcome kids, but the kids have to be quiet, and there's no running around in the campground. If they want to run around inside the rig. Just do laps inside the rig, but no running around the campgrounds, because if we find your kids running around and being too loud, we will actually take them into a little remedial session. We have a special timeout room. It's a timeout room. I think it's the only one in the world where we do this at a campground for the kids. Get a special timeout with a counselor there, and they're counseled on how to be considerate and kind to other fellow human beings. And we also have a psychologist there, a psychiatrist with medication capabilities too. So if your child needs to be medicated while at our campground, we can take care of those things too, of course, for a fee. Nothing comes free at La Mishpacha Family Campground. As far as dogs, we love dogs. I'm a dog owner. I'm a dog lover. I love dogs and cats and all kinds of animals. But if your dog barks maybe once or twice, that's acceptable. But if your dog barks more than 2 times, we take your dog into a special dog training class. We have special camp RV dog trainers there, and they will train your dog. It might take 24 hours or so, but they'll train your dog never to bark again. And again, there's a little bit of a fee for this. We bill this out at $125 an hour, but it might be the best money you've ever spent, because you will, at the end of that, you'll have a peaceful dog, and there'll be no problems, your dog ever bothering anybody else again, especially at our campground. Now, we also have a special policy where, sometimes you get like a little chatty neighbor next to you at the next campground, and they want to come over and talk to you. Talking for 30 seconds or a minute is okay, but sometimes you get these chatty neighbors and they want to keep talking and talking, and you can't get out of there because they're your neighbors at the campground. So when you check in at La Mishpacha Family Campground, we give you a special code word. So let's say when you check in, your code word is, let's just make this up, beehive. Now, if I'm walking around the campground and I see your neighbor talking to you, which I think might be too much, I come over and get involved in the conversation. I say, hey, how's everything going? And if you say something like, Matilda, I don't see any beehives around here, that's a special code word for me to know to break up the conversation, because you want to get out of there and you don't want to talk to your neighbor too much. So I will then come on and intervene and get you out of that conversation so easily. I'll make sure that neighbor never comes over and talks to you again. That's one of the special things we do at La Mishpacha Family Campground. Also, do you ever get sick and tired of when you're ready to leave and you're ready to dump your tanks at the RV dump station? There's some schmuck in front of you, and for some reason he's taking 30 minutes. And we don't know what they're doing, but they're just taking so long, and they don't care that anybody's in line and the line's piling up. Well, we have what we call an express dump station line. We've got special service express dump stations, and if you go in those lines, it's guaranteed. We give you 4 minutes. You've got to be able to dump from start to finish in 4 minutes, or we boot you right out of there no matter what stage of the dumping process you're in. So special express dump station line. Never again wait for that schmohawk in front of you who's just taking his good old time and just doesn't care about a thing. Now, at Mishpacha Family Campground, we do offer a complimentary breakfast that comes along with your membership or with your stay at our campground. But I will tell you this, it's a complimentary breakfast, but there is no talking allowed in the breakfast room. So you've got to treat it like a library or quieter. It's got to be a very, very quiet situation. No talking, as is our policy at the whole campground. No talking, no noise, just peace and quiet at our campground. Now, if you're wondering what our policy is on drugs and alcohol and so things like that, we have no strict restrictions on that. Drugs and alcohol must be kept inside your rig. Anything done inside your rig is okay as long as it's not bothering anybody else. But when you bring your drugs and alcohol out and start partying, that's when you get kicked out of La Mishpacha Family Campground. And kicked out means kicked out for life. Kicked out for life. We never want you back here again. Again, this may not be for everybody, but I will tell you that La Mishpacha Family Campground is the world's most peaceful and quietest campground. And I want to thank Dr. Dave, the RV Dummy, for all he does for RV campers that love peace and quiet. And if he gets a little pushback and some people hate him because they think peace and quiet is a bad thing, then I guess so be it. Then come visit us at our campground. You'll be very pleased. And again, like Dr. Dave always says at the end of almost all of his videos, love you, and I hope Dr. Dave invites me back soon. This was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed it. I am Matilda La Mishpacha on behalf of the RV Dummy channel. I'll see you soon.